Dhamma Talk from the Buddha, March the 23rd, 2021. Kusala. Skillful means required for the attainment of path, fruition and Nibbana. We are all considered very fortunate to have been born into the human realm. This human realm is a superior realm, a realm of beings who are born for Nibbana and thus have the capability and capacity to attain Nibbana. Where is Nibbana? Nibbana is in the mind. It is a state of mind attained when right view and right practice are cultivated. Human beings are born to attain wisdom, which refers to right view, Samma-ditthi, the wisdom that discerns the difference between right view and wrong view. In the Pali language, wisdom is called Kusala or Kusala, Kusala, which refers to being skillful. Skillful in what way? Aya Kusala, skillful in knowing the wholesome and meritorious path, actions, and behaving accordingly. Most importantly, knowing Magga, path, Phala, fruition or ripening of deeds well done or ill done, and Nibbana. Apaya Kusala, skillful in knowing causes and the path to lower states of existence, causes of ruin and the squandering of wealth, especially the 6 causes of ruin: addiction to intoxicants, reveling in nightlife, frequenting shows and entertainment, addiction to gambling, consorting with evil friends, having idle habits. Apaya Kusala, skillful in means and expedients of the practice. Those who have Apaya Kusala are truly the wise. Human beings are born with eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, so that they can skillfully learn and practice Dhamma, as opposed to acting or practicing solely on the promptings of emotions and feelings. Skillful practitioners regard the Dhamma as the focus and priority in their life and practice, resulting in the attainment of sila, concentration, and wisdom accordingly. To practice, one must combine the 3 paths into one. Practice in the present moment, not in the past or in the future, and practice with morality and skillfulness. By combining the 3, one's mind will gradually progress and eventually attain the perfection of sila, concentration, and wisdom. To practice in the present moment, one should leave the past behind by simply focusing on the breath. Breathe in feeling at ease. Breathe out feeling at ease. Breathe in feeling joyful. Breathe out feeling joyful. Breathe fully, comfortably, and always with joy. The Buddha's teaching on anapanasati, or mindfulness of breathing, refers to mindfulness of the in and out breath in all postures, whether it be standing, walking, sitting, or reclining. By being mindful of the in and out breath, one automatically puts the past behind. One must totally erase the past and focus on the present moment. Just as one throws away spoiled food, leftovers from yesterday, and only consumes new and fresh fruit every day, one should focus the mind to be in the present moment and ignore all kinds of emotions or memories from the past, whether related to family matters, relationships, loves or hates, or any other kind of suffering. Those who dwell in the past are thinking about events that have already happened, over and over again, like eating spoiled food. Their minds are always depressed and miserable. Do not let mental formations of the past torment your mind and wreck your life. Mental formations lead to suffering. One should practice based on the Buddha's teachings that says, Tesang sankharanang, tesam vupasamo sukho, meaning eradication of mental formations or past sensations is the ultimate joy. Use breathing in feeling at ease, breathing out feeling at ease as a basis for meditation, so that one can eventually attain Nibbana with Ceto Vimutti, deliverance of mind, and Panya Vimutti, deliverance through wisdom. That is, realizing that all things are impermanent, ever-changing, not self, and thus cannot be controlled. Therefore, why torment the mind with past sensations? If one lets the mind dwell on past sensations, then the mind will be attached to the past, the sense of self, and cannot be Dhammic, selfless or in the present moment. One should be joyful with mindfulness of breathing and right livelihood, earning a living without harming oneself or others. The Buddha named 5 types of businesses that lay people should not engage in: dealing in weapons, trade of human beings, meat production or butchery, selling intoxicants, or dealing with poisons. Primarily, the Buddha's teachings were to avoid all types of wrong livelihood, including work related to gambling, profiteering, tax evasion, or any kind of corruption. We all should work with joy, that is, work diligently, avoiding laziness and selfishness. In addition, let your work be practice, making work and practice one and the same. As all of us spend more time awake than asleep, it is very important to work and practice joyfully. To be successful professionally and personally, we can follow the Chinese teaching that says, work hard, be frugal, honest, and grateful. When one can practice selflessness with joy, one is considered to have developed mindfulness and clear comprehension, sati samajanya, and right livelihood can evolve into right mindfulness. By walking this path, not only will one advance professionally, but one will be cultivating virtue at the same time. However, many people nowadays are drowned in a sea of depression and suffering as they struggle against their own mind to practice selflessness. It is then important to practice mindfulness of breathing. Breathe in and out, feeling at ease. Breathe fully and comfortably, so that one's mind comes back to the present moment, as this point is very important and needs to be clearly understood. I am repeating the explanation for the second time today. Normally, when one encounters life problems that seem unmanageable, one becomes more and more depressed as suffering keeps growing within one's mind. At this point, it is important to relax the mind. Allow it to get some rest, not through sleeping, but through the practice of mindfulness of breathing or anapanasati. After working long hours, the body and the brain need some rest. And the same applies to the mind. In addition to the morning and evening meditation, anapanasati is the best way for the mind to rest, and it can simply be done anywhere and in any posture. Once the mind is fully rested and refreshed, the body will regain its strength, which shows through one's radiant face and eyes. Anapanasati for the mind is comparable to sleep for the body. Just like those with sleep deprivation who cannot walk straight, the mind without anapanasati cannot solve any problem in life, regardless of the level of education a person may have attained. Take the story of Angulimala, for example. Angulimala was the vicious brigand who set his mind to kill the Buddha and make him his 1,000th victim in order to complete his training, as wrongly advised by his master. As Angulimala drew his sword and started running as fast as he could towards the Buddha, he couldn't catch up with the Buddha, even though the Buddha was walking calmly. The Buddha was using supernatural power, iddhi, that affected Angulimala, thus keeping him at a distance. This bewildered Angulimala so much that he called out to the Buddha to stop. The Buddha then said that he himself had already stopped, and that it was Angulimala who should stop. Stop using the sword to harm others. Stop all kinds of wrongdoings. He should be restrained from harming others and from mental formations causing agitation. We should all stop ourselves in the same manner with anapanasati, with breathing in feeling at ease, breathing out feeling at ease. Anapanasati is a very crucial practice to relax the mind and to avoid unrest and confusion. We should all practice selflessness in the present moment. Do not be depressed about the physical body, birth, old age, sickness, and death. They are just messengers that manifest to remind us that our bodies do not belong to us. Train the mind to realize the truth about the way things are so that it is not fooled by sickness, physical pain, or anything else that happens in life. Even though the body will get sick, it is important to prevent the mind from getting sick too. One can achieve this by way of anapanasati, breathing in feeling at ease, breathing out feeling at ease. With anapanasati, one can attain insight, wisdom, vipassana panya, which can get rid of the attachment to a sense of self, the physical body, laziness, and allow one to see the impermanent nature of all conditioned phenomena, anicca, that they all arise, abide, and pass away, that they are in an unsatisfactory state, ever-changing, dukkha, non-self, anatta, and cannot be controlled by anyone. Thus, we should not act or react upon our emotions, but should put down and let go of attachments. The more attachment, the more suffering. We all have seen birth, old age, sickness, and death countless times. Sooner or later we will experience them all again. Why not make the most of this golden opportunity of being reborn in the human realm and make path, fruition, and nibbana happen in the present moment? The human realm is considered the most noble realm, as it offers the best opportunity to practice Dhamma. This is the reason why those who aspire to become a Buddha chose the human realm, and not the other heavenly realms as Devas or Brahmas to practice for enlightenment. Human beings have three special superior characteristics. Number 1, surabhava, valor, a courageous heart that can be dedicated to both evil or righteous practices. Human beings are capable of doing the worst deeds such as killing their own mothers or fathers, killing an arahat, wounding a Buddha, creating a schism in the Sangha, or the most noble deeds such as cultivation of selfless acts until the attainment of enlightenment as an arahat, a Pacceka Buddha or a Buddha. Number 2, sattimanta, natural inclination of mindfulness and thus capability to develop right view over wrong view. 3, brahmacharyavas, the ability to practice noble and pure conduct by becoming ordained as a monastic. Because of these special characteristics, all Buddhas chose to be reborn in this subcontinent of Jambudvipa in order to deliver the first sermon after their enlightenment and propagate their teachings. What makes human life beautiful? Does beauty lie in the face or the body, aided perhaps by cosmetic surgical procedures? That kind of beauty is just a pretty shell. True beauty lies in human life guided by the Dhamma, with Dhamma as foundation and focus, and Nibbana as the end goal. Let us not miss the point here. One shall put effort into learning worldly knowledge so that one can be intelligent and have a life of quality. To achieve this, it is important to cultivate a healthy body and a well-trained mind at the same time. Many developed countries have successfully created superior technology and become extremely wealthy. But it is a pity that in such environment, money is regarded as the ultimate goal in life while cultivation of the mind is totally ignored. Let us not follow that path. New communication technologies such as mobile phones or the internet are only tools to speed up communication or access to knowledge. However, it turns out that most people are obsessed with the sights and sounds, the fame and praise created in this online world. Without wisdom, worldly knowledge is not sufficient to help one stay away from the causes of ruin, apaya mukha, suffering, a miserable life, and eventually the rebirth in the lower worlds, apaya bhumi. In order to stay away from the causes of ruin, it is important to develop mindfulness to ensure that one stays away from heedlessness caused by intoxication, roaming the streets at inappropriate times, habitual partying, compulsive gambling, bad companions, and laziness. Do not be addicted to friends and just follow the herd. Herd is used for animals. If one follows the herd, one ends up being like a moth to a flame. A moth that is irresistibly drawn to a beautiful flame and eventually dies miserably. Likewise, a person who is irresistibly attracted to sensual pleasures gets addicted to them and remains stuck in the endless cycle of rebirth, samsara. Nowadays, most people blindly accept and follow the mainstream. However, the mainstream is not always right, as it only refers to things that people are obsessed with based on their emotions at that particular time. It is important to not get confused about this. One should have Dhamma as one's focus and priority, regardless of where one resides, in a monastery or at home. Also, mother and father must be good role models for their children, so that it is easy for them to teach their children to be obedient. As in the process of casting a Buddha statue, it takes a long time to carefully prepare and skillfully create a mold before casting a Buddha statue. To raise a child to be a good person also requires positive and inspirational role models. Anathapindika, a wealthy merchant and chief male patron of the Buddha, and Visakha, a wealthy aristocrat and chief female patron of the Buddha, are superb role models for male and female lay devotees, upasaka and upasika. Despite their monastic status as unordained lay devotees, their minds were fully cultivated and as ordained as the noble ones. Both of them and their families practiced right view and strictly followed the path of practice of the Buddha. As a Buddhist, one should try one's best to understand true Buddhism, which focuses on 4 noble truths. What is suffering all about? The cause of suffering, that is, desire for sensual pleasures, which is like sticky tar that coats the mind, such as desire for pleasant sights, sounds, odors, food, relationships, fame, praise, power, etc. Cessation of suffering, and the path that leads to cessation of suffering, the path that one should cultivate in order to end suffering, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. However, Buddhism in Thailand nowadays has become a tarnished religion focusing on dark practices such as black magic, charms for good luck and protection, worship for gods and ghosts, fortune-telling, etc. Buddhism has been commercialized and become a means to make a living for a certain group of evil people. It is important to understand that all of these activities are not in any way related to Buddha's teachings, and that regardless of how sacred these charms might be, everyone is still subject to birth, old age, sickness, death, separation from loved ones. It would be shameful to be deceived into believing in this tarnished religion, so do not fall prey to such stupidity and blind faith. The Buddha denounced all practices related to black magic and clearly stated that they were low arts, tirachana vija, an obstacle on the way to Nibbana, and practices that monks must not perform under any circumstances. However, later generations of greedy monks who do not aim for Nibbana make use of this black magic as a means to make a living, which happens to be very convenient for them, as there are lots of people out there who are willing and ready to fall prey to them. We all should understand that black magic is only for fools. Venerable Buddhadasa once explained that black magic was for deceiving the fool and those who were willing to fall prey to stupidity, such as those who were willing to pay respect and bow to the ant hills in the mountain. It is funny that if an ant hill is inside the house, one would spray pesticide to kill termites immediately. But if it's found in the mountain, one would worship it. Why worship ant hills? Because these people want something in return from this very small investment, worship. They are too lazy to make a living on their own and only want some instant luck and wealth from worshipping. Thus, they become slaves to stupidity. It does not matter how sacred these things are, ant hills or charms, etc. They cannot help one escape from birth, old age, sickness, death, or separation from loved ones. This is why one needs to cultivate the noble wealth, the true wealth which one can keep even after death. It is important to understand that those who have ordained are just bhikkhus. Bhikkhu has a few meanings. It means beggar, and it can also mean a person who sees danger in cyclic existence. Only those who practice Dhamma and Vinaya with the only aim for Nibbana until attainment of the 4 stages of enlightenment, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahat, can be called the ones who see the danger in cyclic existence, while those who fail to follow the path of practice of the Buddha can only be called beggars. Those ordained ones who do not aim for Nibbana are regarded as shameless monks, alaji, thieves who commit shameless behaviors and hide them behind the monk's robe, parasites to Buddhism. They are ordained and become monks only on the outside, but not within. This does not refer to true monks, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahat, from whom we can obtain an immeasurable amount of merit by giving alms to them, even just once. It is important to understand that regardless of the monastic status, whether a monk or a lay person, if one truly practices selflessness and letting go of attachments to a sense of self, lacks discipline, laziness, skeptical doubt about the triple gem and the 3 fetters, one is regarded as possessing the mind of a monk. We should all understand that it is important to start practicing now, so as not to waste this golden opportunity. Out of this concern for all of us, before entering into complete Nibbana or Parinibbana, the Buddha delivered this last sermon. Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Appamedana Sampadeta, or all conditioned things in the world are subject to decay. Strive heedfully to perfect your practice for your own and others' benefit. Out of heedlessness, most people fail to give time to learn about the Dhamma and practice. We all need to learn and understand Dhamma teachings. It is important to actually put our learning into practice and take it seriously so that one can keep on progressing. The key point is to have Dhamma as our focus and priority in life, and to be happy to practice anywhere, anytime. Even at home, one can practice mindfulness of the breath, anapanasati, breathing in feeling at ease, breathing out feeling at ease, and letting the mind rest in anapanasati. Anapanasati meditation is the refuge of the mind. By following the path of practice of the Buddha, one's life will not be in vain. We will then be worthy of this golden chance, born as a noble human being, born for Nibbana. Here is some food for thought. In this world, the thing that is worthy of possession is wisdom. Worthy of pursuing are true friends, kalyanamitta. Worthy of contemplating is virtue. Worthy of the effort is education. Worthy of association with is the wise. Worthy of careful consideration is the company one keeps. Worthy of admiration is integrity. Worthy of overcoming is selfishness. Worthy of breaking off is the habit of gambling. Worthy of dedication is right livelihood. That which needs to be done urgently is to express gratitude for and to take good care of one's parents. That which needs to be done immediately is to keep the mind peaceful and at ease, jai di, jai sabai, in the present moment. With a resolute determination, through the power of the Triple Gem and the Dhamma perfections of the Venerable Pome Kruba Ajahn, may you all be protected from suffering, sorrow, sickness, and danger, and continue to advance in Dhamma in the land of Buddhism, attain the treasure of the human realm and heavenly realm, and eventually attain Nibbana.